Perfect. So, what we are running through today is a YouTube SEO strategy that I feel every real estate agent will need in 2026. And we're going to talk about how you can use education to create inbound buyers, sellers, or even agent attraction leads if you're wanting to do some recruiting as well. This can help you kind of avoid and create a channel where you're not having to focus on cold calling, door knocking, or posting every single day like you may do on traditional organic social media. So running through this, the first thing you're probably wondering is who is this guy? Because he looks a little sketchy. And so we're going to talk a little bit about who that is. And back in 2002, this guy on the left dropped an album called The Eminem Show. And this guy on the right, kid, wanted to be Eminem. So you could see bleached his hair blonde and went through that there. From 2006 to 2016, this kid still wanted to be Eminem and actually pursued being an independent artist. Uh, had opportunity to perform at many shows, record hundreds of original songs, and try to just be an independent artist, where he was able to open up for artists like Waka Flocka Flame and Machine Gun Kelly. A little bit funny thing here is his YouTube knowledge is not beginner. He has been doing YouTube since over a decade, 12 plus years to even 14 years ago, creating independent videos, trying to market as an independent artist. That is kind of the origin story of this guy, who a lot of people say looks like this guy here. Looks like this quarterback for the Cleveland Browns that didn't pan out. Looks like this creepy guy from the Wedding Crashers. This rapper right here, and then also he believes he looks like this guy. So self-proclaimed. Maybe not so much, but I like to think that. But realistically, who this guy is me, Austin St. Jean. I am one of the co-founders of Dippidi. I am also a licensed real estate agent here in Florida, and also own a company called Happy Host where we do Airbnb co-hosting and management. Back on the Dippity grind though, because this is where a lot of this experience comes from. We've as a company managed over $5 million in ad spend. We've ran over 5,000 ad campaigns on Facebook, Instagram, Google, and YouTube. And we've been blessed and honored with the opportunity to coach and consult and service over 350 real estate companies and combined over 2,500 agents. So things have quite evolved from the old musician days, but a lot of that experience is rooted into what we know today. So I didn't want to push that to the side. I wanted to be sure to talk through it. But as we go through this presentation, what you're going to learn today is why traditional real estate marketing is breaking down, how buyers and sellers are actually choosing agents now, why YouTube and SEO is becoming unavoidable, and the exact strategy that we will give you to win on YouTube in 2026 so you can start populating in really good YouTube searches, Google searches, and AI search overviews. And I want to teach how to do this without having this feeling that you have to become a full-time content creator. Really, you're producing a piece a week or a piece every other week. So we'll talk through that here today. But before we do, I want to touch on a few different things, and that is that people are now searching before they call. Buyers and sellers are no longer starting with referrals alone. They're starting with Google, YouTube, and ChatGPT. They're researching various different things and learning themselves about the market, the process, and the right agent. So visibility and trust is happening now before the conversation ever even starts. And so what a lot of people are struggling with is not necessarily content. Content is not the problem. A lot of people can jump on in video on their phone. They're doing really great on social media. People, I feel, are getting over that hump of fear of being on video. And now what really we are seeing as the issue is that the execution might be the problem. Most agents don't know what topics actually rank on platforms like YouTube, so they avoid it. They may post inconsistently or just try it, do an overproduced video that they invest a lot of money in just to get one out there, and it never actually do anything for them. So they just kind of give up on it and stop building any consistency from it. They might get views, but no leads, or they might write a blog that they put on their website that never actually ranks. So basically what happens is people start quitting before the results ever even get the opportunity to compound. And so what we found is that the issue isn't necessarily effort, but it is a lack of a system, which we want to be sure to provide you with today. So as we kind of discussed here, you don't really necessarily have a lead problem at times. You have a visibility problem, and not to say that it's an online lead or online visibility problem. This could be in general. When it comes to real estate, a lot of people know various different agents, and so it is important that you remain visible and remain providing value to people amongst their everyday walk of lives to be able to be that top of mind whenever that time comes that they do want to buy or sell real estate. And so visibility creates trust, familiarity, and authority. And I did have to practice the word familiarity. That was a tough one to get off the tongue. So this is things that get built before people ever even reach out. And it's important to note that when it goes into the YouTube side of things, you don't have to have this hamster wheel effect that you feel when you're creating consistent social media content. Posting is not the same as positioning. On social media, it's definitely interruption based. You're posting to get into the news feed, grab attention, stop their scroll, and quickly provide that value for them to either continue scrolling on or take some sort of action that you're asking them to do. It disappears quickly, and it really depends on algorithms very heavily. Where search-based content is a little bit different. It meets intent, you rank long term, and it compounds over time. One, social media, is rented attention, where the other, as you build ranking, is owned visibility. Something else to note before we get into the actual strategy here is that YouTube is the second largest search engine. It is owned by Google, who is the number one search engine, and ChatGPT is climbing that ranking, even though it's not necessarily a search engine, more of an answer engine. It's already number 5 in the most visited websites on the planet. So YouTube is owned by Google. It ranks directly in the search results on Google. So when people are doing Google searches for a specific question or looking for a specific topic, videos are actually in those search results that Google delivers directly from YouTube. So this is capturing high intent traffic. One strong video that you create on YouTube could generate leads and targeted viewership, not only this month, but next year and many years from now. And I have many other agents that I know that work really hard on their YouTube that can attest to this. Just to speak on that, I want to shout out an agent that we work very closely with, Joey Guest. He has built out a YouTube channel where when somebody, like basically when we met up with him, we went to lunch and he was doing YouTube for new construction. So he'd go through, walk through new construction properties. They'd build out the videos and he'd have call to actions for people to call in. It took him 6 months before he actually got inbound phone calls to come from it. But after that 6 months, he was getting a majority of their closings from YouTube phone calls. Inbound phone calls directly from YouTube. He was able to track because he used a specific number on YouTube to know that these are coming directly from the channel. He got so busy with the YouTube leads, he was getting inconsistent with the posting. And so what ended up happening, ironically, at lunch, when we met up, he was talking about his consistency and how he hadn't posted a video in 8 months. But at that lunch, he literally got a phone call from a YouTube lead. So he built up this visibility online for specific keywords and then got inbound phone calls coming from something he didn't touch for 8 months. That can't happen on social media. That happens on search engines, and specifically unique search engines that have content, video content like YouTube. Another thing to note is AI searches. So a lot of people are realizing AI is here, it ain't going anywhere, and AI searches are now changing everything. AIs are pulling answers from indexed blogs on your website, YouTube videos, and long-form educational content. So if you go do right now a search on ChatGPT, you can say something along the lines of, is right now a good time to sell my house in Tampa, Florida? And hit that search. Let ChatGPT give you an answer, and at the very bottom, you'll see sources. Click those sources and see how almost a majority of them are YouTube videos that they're pulling from. So this goes to show you that agents with authority-based content will win, and agents without it will disappear from the search. So how are modern agents winning in 2026? 4 shifts are happening right now. Education is getting pushed out over promotion. Search is getting pushed to the forefront over social media. Conversations are starting versus doing scripted videos, and everything compounds over these campaigns over time. Basically, search beats social for real estate. Search traffic has higher intent, converts higher, and lasts longer. Social media is passive, short-lived, easily ignored. So YouTube plus Google, they work together, and this creates a great recipe for you for the time you're going to put in for content creation. You don't need to be a YouTuber for this strategy that we're about to go over. Basically, you just need to do a few different things. The best performing content sounds natural, feels conversational, and isn't scripted. So what we found is that we find a partner to help you collaborate on these. It can be interview style content. So you can find another agent that wants to do this as well. It may be an admin on your team. It may be a marketing coordinator on your team. It could be anybody that will be willing to tackle this with you, and you can help each other. And it's interview style content because it's easier to maintain, it's more authentic, and it's more scalable. And you're probably like, what is interview style content? So we're going to show you what that looks like. This is the tools you'll need, and this is what an interview style piece of content on YouTube looks like. We jumped on a call here with Rebecca, and we drafted up interview questions around a specific topic. This topic for her was around agent attraction, the agent revolution, why top agents are leaving traditional brokerages in 2026. This could be done for hyper-local content around the best neighborhoods that Gen Z is looking at in 2026, if you wanted to get in front of Gen Z. It could be the best neighborhoods in Tampa, Florida, for walkability. It could be anything around answering questions like that. And you basically draft interview questions, have someone on with you to conduct the interview, you be the subject matter expert, and that creates your long form piece of content. You'll see here, this one is actually a very long form piece of content. It was an hour long, probably similar to what this webinar would be, right? A long form interview style piece of content. And what you'll only need, I tried to make it as free as possible so you can get started, is you need a YouTube account. You could start with the free Chat GPT if needed. StreamYard isn't free, but if you don't have StreamYard, Zoom has a free option. StreamYard is how we recorded it to look like this. You need a website such as Lofty, Agent Fire, Sierra Interactive, whatever it may be, preferably Agent Fire. So you also would need a Google Keyword Planner. The Google Keyword Planner is a free tool to search for a website, keywords on your market. So basically, you could look at what people are asking in the market and find out what they're actually researching, so you can build your topics based upon that. So this is how content multiplies. One conversation becomes a YouTube video. You then take that YouTube video and you can actually make it a Google ranking blog where you can write a piece of content for your Agent Fire site's blog, put it on Agent Fire, embed the video on top of it, and then index that with Google Search Console. I know this all sounds a little bit technical, to then rank for those keywords. You can also take it and use it as retargeting creative to get back on Facebook and Instagram in front of your website visitors. If you install Facebook Pixel on Agent Fire site, you can go backwards and retarget anybody that visits your site with this content. You can also splice little micro videos out of it to create social media content, and you can send this in an email newsletter to your database as well. So there's a lot of ways that this one piece of content that you record for YouTube and for search to be used in many different ways. So some buyer-focused topics that rank, just to give you a few ideas, would be like, I'm going to use Tampa as an example. Living in Tampa, pros and cons. What 600K buys you in Tampa? Moving to Tampa, what you should know. Best neighborhoods in Tampa for families. If you wanted to go on the seller side of things, is now a good time to sell in Tampa, Florida? How long does a home take to sell in Tampa, Florida? Top mistakes sellers are making right now in Tampa, Florida. What impacts home values right now? Maybe you want to try to attract agents. You're building a boutique brokerage. You're building a team. So you're trying to get on the side to help recruiting. So it could say what it's really like being an agent in Tampa, how I can generate leads without cold calling, what new agents should be looking for in a brokerage. These are a lot of different topics that are, I would say, lower hanging fruit that are already kind of proven keyword research in many markets that you could use today and create interview questions around. A good example here is a client that sent over, he actually created a video. He didn't do an interview style. He created a video walking through a new construction property. We posted that video for him. We made the thumbnail. We wrote the blog on his site. We did the description, all the YouTube content, and he was able to rank. You can see right here, 6 days. He was able to rank on the first page and get organically, 50 views, but that's 50 views of people searching for Wellness Ridge in Claremont, Florida. They're looking for that new construction community, and he was able to rank very quickly because of the way you structure the SEO and write the content and build everything out. Here's what your workflow would look like, and I have something for you at the end here that's going to make this super easy. One, you're going to need to do SEO topic and keyword research. You're going to need to come up with those topics that you want to do. You're going to need to prepare interview questions. You're going to need to conduct the interview on Zoom or StreamYard. You're going to want to then upload that on YouTube and optimize all the SEO. And then you're going to want to take that when you're completed, write a blog, put it on your Agent Fire site, and make sure you index it on your Google Search Console. Google Search Console is free. If you have a Gmail account, you need to go ahead and get it and make sure your website is already on Google Search Console and you've indexed your website sitemap. So that way Google has visibility on everything you're ranking for organically on your website. So what will the results end up becoming? I showed you the example of the first page there, but basically you're going to be getting targeted viewership, people looking for specific keywords to find you, to build trust, and this will in turn provide inbound buyer leads, inbound seller leads, agent attraction opportunities, market authority, and evergreen assets that will consistently compound. So I just ran through that pretty quickly because I do want to open up for some Q&A for everybody. But before I do, I want to give you the opportunity to basically use this GPT we pre-built. You can go ahead and scan this here. This is basically the entire process. So it is trained to help you come up with topics. Once you have a topic, you can ask it to give you the interview questions. Once you have the interview questions, you can ask it to provide you with the YouTube SEO title, the description, the blog title, everything. And it kind of guides you through each step as you go through it. So highly recommend this. I wanted to give this out to you for free because I know this is somewhat of a unique strategy with a little bit of complexities. So I wanted you to be able to go ahead and scan that there, use the GPT to your ability. And if you ever have any questions at all, reach out to us and we can guide you. Basically what's happening in 2026, agents won't compete on hustle. They'll compete on authority. And those who educate will dominate search and win trust before the call ever happens. Now, if this is something that you're interested in having done with you, we offer coaching. And if there's something you want done for you, we do this service turnkey where you just show up to talk. We handle everything else, and your compound basically content compounds monthly for you. Here's an ability here to schedule a call in the event that this is something you'd want as a service or coaching to be able to learn and kind of guided with on Zoom calls weekly or bi-weekly. Kristen, I wanted to go ahead and open up the floor for Q&A if anybody has any questions whatsoever. I know that this was a little bit technical, a little bit unique, a little bit different. So I wanted to make sure that people have any questions they have, I can help answer.
Absolutely. There is one question so far. Ken is asking if it's only YouTube in particular as a platform, or can self-hosted videos show up as well?
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time? It cut out for a moment.
Oh, did I? Ken is asking if it is YouTube specific, or can they do self-hosted videos as well? Will they show up? Assuming the site and video hosted on that site gets indexed.
Yeah, I would say YouTube is the way to go. YouTube, because it is owned by Google, so the search results pop up on Google. Like for example, let me see if I can even just show a live example here. Here we go. It's a great example. So I typed in, what is the real estate market like right now in Tampa, Florida? You want to use YouTube and host it on YouTube because you'll see YouTube populates directly in not only on YouTube searches, but on Google search results. So you'll see other videos right here popping up. So this can get you on the first page of Google quicker than sometimes a blog can, where you're competing with companies like Reddit and bigger ones like news publications, Realtor.com and Zillow for organic SEO. Video can help you jump that queue, if you will, and also help fuel the rankings for your YouTube searches. But not even just YouTube. If you took this same question into like ChatGPT, hopefully don't prove me wrong here, but sometimes the searches here will be YouTube videos. And this one proved me wrong. Oh, no, there we are. You got YouTube videos it sources from as well. So this agent, it was able to pull from and bring him in here. So this builds up more trust for you on AI searches. So if somebody were to ask, who are the best real estate agents to work with in town, if you had videos like that, that would then have those keywords, you're going to have an opportunity to populate in AI searches and AI overviews for it as well.
All right. And Gabe is asking if there's a link to your GPT.
Yeah, I'll drop a link
If
in the
it's using
chat.
QR.
I I had the QR code there, but it might not be. Let me see. If I drop this in the chat here, Kristen, would you be able? Does it go directly to everybody?
It should, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Um, Actually, let me redo that. Make sure it goes to everyone. All right, the GPT link is in the chat, everyone. And then we have a question. What are the prices for training? Then is there a different price for you doing it all for us?
Yeah, yeah. So the pricing's different. Basically, pretty straightforward on our coaching program. It's 600 a month for biweekly Zoom calls, and it's not just teaching you YouTube. We can actually teach you a lot more than that. Basically, it's digital marketing coaching. We could do advertising, Facebook ads, Google LSA, your Google business profile coaching, YouTube, graphic design, content creation. Like it is really a get in the gym and shoot the ball together in the gym kind of coaching sessions that we can guide you based upon where you're wanting to go. It's either 600 a month for biweekly 1 hour sessions. They're recorded, so you have them to review, or 1,000 a month for weekly sessions. On the done for you service, the pricing does range from 1,500 a month upwards because we can take it from doing the YouTube videos all the way to the blog on the site, the posting on microspliced on social, email marketing, ads, etc. So it ranges starting at 1,500 a month upwards based upon how much you're wanting in terms of content.
Awesome. All right. And Marcia's asking, does your program require advertising campaigns for YouTube, Facebook, and Google?
Yeah. So we offer a lot more than just this YouTube program. Like if people, a lot of Agent Fire clients come to us and we work together in the Trio package. So we do a lot of like Google pay-per-click and Facebook advertising, retargeting, different things like that. So if you got a need on that side, we could definitely fulfill it. But specifically to this YouTube program, one of the packages and plans we offer does take that content and retarget it to your website visitors, your database. We do geographical targeting to get in front of new people in your market. So there's like a good whirlwind of attracting strangers, prospects, and your database of your sphere and past clients as well.
Awesome. All right. And now we have, does the 1500 monthly include the advertising?
It does not. So the 1500 includes the keyword strategy, the creation of all the content, you jumping on and talking, and it's bi-weekly. So that's a every 2 weeks you're going to get a video created, put on your YouTube. We then take it, make a blog, put that on your Agent Fire site, and make sure it's indexed with Google Search Console. So it's kind of like the foundational YouTube SEO program, and then it scales up from there.
Great. And now we have, can the monthly be split among a team?
Absolutely. Yeah. If that's a great question. So if a team was interested in splitting that up monthly and like they wanted to, let's say they went with the weekly or bi-weekly, they wanted to like rotate the agents that are going on the interviews, we could do that for sure. Or it could be one spokesperson representing the team. Either way, we could definitely work that out.
All right. And then earlier, somebody asked about your relationship with Agent Fire, and I said it's not exactly an integration, but if you want to speak a little more about how, you know, you work
Yeah.
in conjunction with our Agent Fire sites for anyone that wants to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're service providers. We aren't technology, so we're not necessarily an integration. More of an extension to your team with your Agent Fire site. So when you get a beautiful site from Agent Fire, you have the storefront built. You need to now drive traffic to the store. So that's where we kind of come in. We can do advertising campaigns to generate leads through the Agent Fire IDX. Some people use other third-party IDXs through Agent Fire. They may use Rooster. They may use Real Scout. So if they do, we can even use those technologies as well to drive leads through and take them to the Agent Fire site, but capture through those IDXs. So in terms of our partnership and how we're aligned, we've been working together, I feel like, since 2019, 2020, just helping each other with mutual clients. Agent Fire makes the beautiful website, and then we come over top to help drive traffic to that website.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. That's all in the Q&A so far. I don't think anything's come through the chat. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Pop them into the Q&A before we wrap up here.
Awesome. And I appreciate all the questions, everyone. Hopefully that's helpful.
All right. Well, again, I just want to thank you, Austin, for joining us today. This has been awesome. We have a great turnout here. So thank you to all of our attendees for also attending and learning more about this today. It was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I really appreciate the time here. And, again, this is a pretty unique strategy. And I did make that GPT, try to make it as simple as possible for everybody to use if you wanted to try to implement this yourself. Highly recommend giving it a shot. You will see very quickly results if you focus on those right keywords. And so I do want to just go ahead and open the door up as well. If anybody has questions, just reach out. Here, I'll share my email here in the chat.
Great.
You might have to share that with everybody here, Kristen.
Yeah.
But yeah, any questions at all? Give this a shot. Try it out. If the GPT is giving you problems, reach out. Let me know. Definitely open to helping everybody in the community as much as I can to be a resource as a partner.
All right. Great. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Austin.
Thank you. Looking forward to doing more of these in the future.
Yes, we will do that. All right.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye
Have a
bye.
great day, everyone.